Welcome to the course on modern control theory, and this is, I have already told you, this is also course of systems theory, and this course is also called the course on linear system theory or linear control theory. So myself, Dr. Syam Kamal, assistant professor in Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT BHU, and in the today's lecture we are going to discuss some very brief overview of this particular course. Particularly, I am going to cover the language part of this course. Due to that reason, most of time I am going to focus on language. Language means whenever we are writing something, then we have some way to communicate with other people. And if you see control theory, then this is one of the applied branch of mathematics. So due to that reason, most of time whatever we are writing, that is very much consistent with respect to mathematics. There is no ambiguity. So purpose and outcome of the course, if you see the general overview, introduce the audience to the language of modern control theory. And if you understand the language of modern control theory, then you are able to understand the language of nonlinear control system, you are able to understand the language of optimal control theory, robust control theory, and almost each and every language at least you are able to understand. And most of time I am going to use very simple, intuitively clear, and analytically simple approach. So I am not going to take those kind of example which is basically required much more knowledge of some particular area. And if you see the course structure of any control system, so basic idea is basically based on the geometrical interpretation of limit. So you are able to see that calculus is not a new subject, that is some kind of algebra only, and we are using some kind of macro scope, and that macro scope is limit, to convert calculus problem to algebraic problem. And after that we are able to see that role of continuity in this particular course, because continuity is very important, because we are going to do some kind of reduction. So we are going to do some kind of finite amount of experiment, and after that we are telling that now if you give this class of input, then you are going to get some specific class of input output. And due to that reason, one of the most basic idea behind that is continuity. We will see that how much continuity is relevant, and after that I am going to talk about algebraic structure. So since course is fully based on mathematics, so finite notion of mathematics is required to understand the course. And using structure you are able to understand that everything is somehow repeated. So if you are able to understand the concept of some a small amount, and if you understand the repetition, then you are able to clearly able to understand the other part of mathematics as well as control. And obviously I am going to talk about Lyapunov stability, norm linear spaces, and control design. So these part, Lyapunov stability, control design, and after that controllability and observability, these kind of concept is basically covered by my colleague Dr. Sandeep Ghosh. So if you see this approach, so this approach is quite general. So nowadays you might have seen that this is era of machine learning or some kind of neural network, you can tell. So in machine learning also lot of languages of modern control theory is used. So if you are able to understand this course, then you are equally able to appreciate the idea of machine learning also, computer science and information theory, game theory, qualitative and quantitative analysis of systems. So due to that reason, this course is very important. So let us try to understand that first important thing, what is difference between science and engineering. I hope that you are already able to understand this point, but I am going to make clear here that whenever I am going to talk about science, I am not going to talk about social science. I am not going to talk about environmental science. I am just focused towards these four things: physics, chemistry, biochemistry, or biophysics. So these four are only defined as a hard science for the control people. And what is basic motivation? These hard science are characterized by the fact that their laws and their prediction can be tested by experiments performed over a wide range of parameters. It means that suppose you can take very basic element from electrical engineering, that is resistor. Okay, so what basically we are doing, suppose now I am changing the resistor and I want to do some kind of prediction about the current through the resistor, and for that I am going to apply some kind of voltage. So suppose I have applied some kind of voltage V. Now I am changing the resistor R1, R2, R3 up to Rn. So I am changing different resistors. So I am changing the parameters of the physical object. Physical object is my resistor. So we are, by applying different voltage, we are going to predict some kind of laws. And you all are already well aware that this law is nothing but the Ohm's law. So we are telling that okay, V is proportional to I, and after that we are writing that if I have some kind of proportionality constant, and then I am going to write like this. So in this way we are conducting the experiment. Similarly for mechanical people, suppose I have some kind of mass, I am going to apply some kind of force on it, and after that I am going to observe the position, means change position, means I am going to observe the coordinate change of this particular object. Now I am going to change this mass. So for different masses I am going to predict some kind of law, and you all are already well aware that this particular observation is coming from the classical mechanics, and using Newton's law I can able to capture it. So using physics, chemistry, biophysics, biochemistry, we are trying to predict some kind of law. Similarly, suppose I have two chemical reaction, and after that we are going to see that what is resultant chemical reaction. Again we are formulating some kind of law, and the main goal of the hard science, that to explore the nature and make some new discoveries. So they are discovering that what is behavior of resistor, what is behavior of capacitor, what is behavior of mass if we are going to apply some force, what is wave nature of this material. Like this kind of interpretation, that is actually we are collected from the hard science. And what is our goal when engineering discipline is established? Then our main goal to create some kind of new device and system, and our main purpose to serve human purpose. So most of time we are not doing discovery to explore the nature. That is job of the hard science people. But if you see, there is no clear boundary. Sometimes we are doing this also, and after that we are going to build some new system. And whatever tool basically we are using in order to construct some new device, we are going to use the whatever law that is used by or given by these people, we are going to use their law. And after that, after using this law, we are using some kind of language, and actually our language is mathematics, so our language is consistent. So this is a difference between science and engineering. Now what happens, that most of time, suppose I have some kind of realistic object or some kind of physical object. Suppose I have some resistor here. So now what I am going to do, I am going to capture the behavior of resistor, and due to that reason I am going to use some kind of symbol. I do not know that symbol of resistor is like this, but we are actually, all of us are agreed that if we are going to use this kind of symbol, then I am telling this symbol as a capacitor. So this is our convention. For our purpose we are using this. But if you see the physical system, then physical or original system is not aware that if we are human being is represented this kind of things, then that is resistor. So whatever model, whatever representation we are doing for our understanding, and we want to transfer the knowledge from one part of world to another part of world. And what is our basic idea, that whatever things we are thinking here, same kind of things is communicated to the other part of the world. So if you see the system, so I have some kind of physical system. Physical system means some kind of realistic system, and this realistic system may have different model. Why that is different model? Because most of time whenever we try to capture the behavior of this system, so how to capture the behavior of any system? We have just two channel that is open to us, that is called input channel, and this is called output channel. So what I am going to do, I am going to excite this system, and after that I am going to record the response of this system. So I have activation function, and after that I have response characteristic. Based on that, I am going to guess that what kind of mathematical law or some kind of physical law that comes into picture. So if you do finite number of experiment, and if you relating these two, it is possible to show that I am going to show you the relation between input and output, that should be function. And if I have some kind of domain and codomain, and I have to define the function. You all are already well aware about that. I have some kind of domain here, and I have some kind of codomain here. Then I can able to define function in infinite many way, and due to that reason I have different models. You can see that for same system I have different model, and that model is somehow tells us that if you apply this kind of input, then what kind of output you are going to get. So any physical system have infinite many numbers of models, and due to that reason we have some kind of beauty that infinite many people can do different kind of experiment on the same system by considering different model. And how basically we are telling that that particular model is perfect or at least satisfactory? So in order to understand that, first try to see the definition of model. So whenever we are telling the model, so model is nothing but some kind of simplified description. You can see that whenever we are considering model, at that time we are not considering that whatever description that is complicated. And due to that reason you can see that I have some kind of mass, and I am applying the force on this, and whatever acceleration is that is going to generate, that is actually governed by very simple law. I am assuming that mass is not changing here. F equal to ma, or rate of change of momentum equal to force. You can tell that generalized law. So most of time if you see the basic law, then that is very simple, and that basic law is nothing but the mathematical model or some kind of model of the system. Please be careful here. Most of time what a student is thinking, or what people are thinking, that due to science only some system is working, but that is not the case. Whatever science we are telling or whatever engineering we are telling, that is just for our understanding purpose. We don't know that if I apply force, then how basically mass is behaving, but at least I have one way to interpret that. Okay, so system, realistic system is behave in their own way. I do not know how they are behaving, but at least we have certain kind of tool, some kind of law, using that we are going to picture it. And specifically whenever we are talking about model in control theory, that is nothing but some set of mathematical equation, might be algebraic equation. You can see that I have taken resistor, and after that I am applying some voltage and going to observe some kind of current. Then whatever equation I have written, that is algebraic equation. Now suppose instead of this, if I will take some kind of capacitor or whatever mass I have taken, so here you can see that Ft is m d2xt by dt square. Like this, I am assuming that xt is to time differentiable. So you can see that Now this system is governed by some kind of differential equation. So system might be represented in terms of discrete equation, differential equation, in terms of probabilistic equation. So that doesn't matter, but some mathematical expression of a system of or process assists to calculation and prediction. So one of the most important goal that I want to predict the future, and another most important thing, I want to predict the future uniquely. That is also important. And this is principle of maximum simplicity that is given by Professor Einstein, that everything, whenever we are talking about model, that should be simple but not simpler. So whatever mathematical model we are going to consider, that we are going to construct some kind of mathematical model which is simple, but if you further simplify it, they are not going to capture the whole behavior of the system. So you can see that I have physical system, I have represented that physical system using some kind of set of mathematical equation. After that, why we are doing that, we are going to perform some kind of analysis on it, and after that I am going to do some kind of simulation. Now we have very standard tool, a very large number of tool for doing simulation, and one of the most attractive tool is called MATLAB. And after that, whatever measurement data, input output data, and whatever mathematical model and simulation of mathematical model comes into picture, we are going to match it. If that is agree, then we are telling, okay, out of these three models, model 1, model 2, model 3, model 2 is little more closer to this physical system. So I have abstract model means since I have different model, so we are telling that is abstract model. So abstract model is somehow capturing the approximate behavior of the system. Now let us try to see one of the most important thing that I have taken from mathematics, that one thing that you can define everything, but if you are going to define, you can see that in previous slide I have defined that what is meaning of model, but definition has some kind of limitation. So we are going to highlight that limitation. So importance of definition, the need for mathematician to communicate with each other. So if two people are trying to communicate about same object, they must have to same understanding of their technical terms. So suppose I am going to talk about some kind of resistor, so same kind of understanding, or I am going to talk about Ohm's laws, then I have same kind of understanding between two people. But there is some kind of weakness in structure whenever we are talking about the definition. Let us try to see that weakness using this simple example. So what I am claiming, that it is impossible to define every concept. Why that is impossible? Let us try to understand this definition. So I am going to define some kind of set. You might have learned about set during your school time. So a set is well defined collection of the object. So what you can do, you can take one bucket, you can add different object, a 1 2 3, some kind of picture you can add, and we are defining this as a some kind of set. So now suppose someone has coined this kind of definition, a set is well defined collection of objects. Now one naturally asks, what is mean by collection? So again we have to define the collection, and suppose we are further clarify the a collection is an aggregate of something. So what then people start talking about this term, what then is an aggregate? So in this way, if you see that at some time everything becomes circular, means argument becomes circular, and due to that reason, what I am telling, that using definition you are not able to capture something, but using symbol at least you are able to become more comfortable. So what I am telling, suppose I have some kind of set, you can define this set as a x, and suppose I am telling some element inside set is x, then I am telling that this x is the element. So we are defining element by this symbol and x. Now here you can see that there is no language barrier. What we are telling, that you can just understand this symbol is telling that there exists some kind of member. If member is there, then we are defining like this. If that is not a member, then we are going to define like this. So most of time after giving definition, you might have seen that in mathematics people are also give some kind of symbol. So mathematician realized that there must be some undefined or primitive concept which with which to start. So due to that reason, we are going to start with some primitive concept. And similar kind of trend in modern control theory or system theory or linear control theory, that I have to start with definition, because you can see that course name itself is modern control theory or systems theory. So most of time if you see modern control theory, then we are going to learn about the system. So first I have to understand that what is definition of the system, and I have already told you that there is no unique way to define the system. If you see the some kind of biological literature, then also they are defining system. If you are seeing some finance literature, they are also defining the system. Due to that reason, we have to consistent with respect to our definition. So what kind of definition I am going to adopt in this particular lecture or particular course, that I think I should start off by saying that it is something that people make measurement on it and get out some unique number. Suppose that I have to measure the height of this and I have this robot. So after taking image, they are able to tell that what is height, and whatever height that is given, that is unique. If that is unique, then I can tell that whatever device they are using, that is okay, and that particular device is good for the measurement. So whenever we are talking about system, so I am going to make some kind of measurement. What is meaning of making measurement? I am going to apply some kind of input. You can see that here some kind of input is applied to this particular system. You can tell anything as a system here, and after that what we are going to get, I am going to get some kind of unique number that is required. You can see that unique number. If that is non-unique, then I cannot able to do any kind of generalization. And due to that reason, whenever we are defining system, then we have to search some kind of operator which talks the uniqueness between relation between input and output. Now if you know the number, then that is not a number. That will tell you lot of things, because I have told you that you have some kind of resistor, this element, and what basically we are doing, you can see that now I am going to apply some kind of voltage, and after that I am recording the current. So I have one kind of voltmeter to apply the voltage or measuring the voltage, and I have some kind of a meter to know the current. And if you plot this curve, so now whatever curve that comes into picture and whatever slope of this curve, that is not the property of this experiment, that is property of this material. So intrinsic property of material I can just able to guess by analyzing the numbers. So that is the beauty. Okay, so yeah, what we are doing, we are applying numbers by our convenience, and after that by using measurement I can able to guess the intrinsic property of some system. So that is the beauty. Okay, so similar kind of things we are doing whenever we are going to doctor. Then what doctor is doing, they are writing several tests if we are suffering from some disease, and they are recording numbers only. You can see that blood pressure is like up to 120 or something like that. They are measuring the sugar level, they are measuring your blood pressure, they are measuring your temperature, and based on that they are telling that you are suffered from this particular disease. So just by seeing number, just by analyzing some kind of graph, doctors are all able to tell you what kind of disease you have. So whenever you are getting some kind of number, then you are able to tell lot of things, you are able to guess the dynamics. And due to that reason, that is the basic foundation of the machine learning. So what machine learning is telling, that if you have sufficient number of input and output, and even if you are not knowing the dynamics of the system, but I can able to predict some kind of law. So that is the main motivation, and that is basically coming from here only. Now let us try to see that what is meaning of model in terms of number. So model is figuring out how the number are changed as you observe with the system. It means that suppose if you apply some mass, if you apply some kind of force on this particular mass and assuming there is no friction, and suppose you are recording the position after application of this force, and what happens that you know that whatever number that is going to change, whatever position xt that is going to change, that is given by Newton's law. So basically we are telling that, so I have idea from Newton's law, and due to that reason we are able to write. But suppose if I don't have idea of Newton's law, then I have to plot some graph between input and output. So this is my input and this is my output. Okay, so now this particular equation is just telling us that how xt is changing with respect to time. So if you are able to measure that change, that is nothing but model. So whatever model you are telling, realistically we are just talking about the change of number, and if it is true for whole family of the system, then we are promoted that as a theory. So Ohm's law, you can see that now you can take any resistor, so you are able to tell that in some specific condition the behavior of resistor is given by the Ohm's law. Again, please be careful, I am telling that not always behavior of resistor is given by by Ohm's law. If resistor is non-linear, then at that point we have to do something else. Now let us try to see some more thing, that what is difference between abstract mathematics and science, because now I am going to write everything of science in terms of mathematics, or everything of engineering in terms of mathematics. So we have to understand the clear difference. So if you see that whatever laboratory science, we are again talking about just few things, chemistry, physics, biochemistry and biophysics, then what basically we are doing enough number of experiment, and after that we are verifying or guessing some principle. But what mathematicians are doing, mathematicians are collecting something, and after that what they are doing, they are making some kind of logical argument to predict some new theory. That is, that is the way of mathematicians. So they are not knowing that what kind of system is going to satisfy this particular mathematics, so they develop some mathematics independently by considering some element. So they are taking some ordered or unordered collection of object, and after that they are defining some kind of a structure inside this particular set, and that structure, whatever structure they are defining, they are telling that I do not know how basically this structure comes, so you have to believe on that. So if you believe on that particular structure, then you are going to get new theory. So in this way they are developing the new theory. So whatever structure they are making, that is called axioms. So now I hope that you are able to understand that I have collection of object. So mathematicians are taking some collection of objects, and after that they are telling that object should satisfy some kind of assumptions, and that assumptions, if you believe, globally believe, so and if you accept without proof, then you are able to get some new theory. So that is, in that framework basically mathematics people are working. So we are also working in same framework. What basically we are doing, we are telling, okay, I have some kind of physical object. Now what I am going to do, I am going to apply some kind of measurement input, and after that I am going to get some kind of output. So what happens, that I have system, I have input, and I have unique output. So this is our set. After that what I am telling, that whatever output here, so that should be not depending on the future input. So whatever input here I am applying, so this output is only depending on the past value or present value. I am not telling that my system is influenced by the future output, then only I can able to talk about the uniqueness here. So that is first assumption. Second assumption is that what basically we are assuming, that whatever number, whatever input and output, that should be real number. Why that is real number? Because I cannot, whatever device we have developed in engineering literature or in engineering system, all is only able to recognize the real numbers, and due to that reason we are assuming that whatever input and output that is coming, that is somehow some form of the real number, and I will tell you in the latter part that how complex number can be interpreted in terms of real number, how function is interpreted in terms of real number, how matrices are interpreted in terms of real number. So everything I am going to interpret in this course in terms of real number, or there are some kind of a structure where real number is basically involved. So real number means something, some kind of real line, and in this course most of time since I am going to follow the mathematics, so I am going to use symbol. So this real line is represented by this symbol, so r, and after that I am putting some kind of line here. So whenever I am writing this symbol, it means that I am talking about real line from minus infinity to plus infinity. So in this way we are also going to to follow the trends of mathematician only. I am going to define the set, I am going to define the structure, and what kind of a structure. We have two assumptions, that what I am assuming that whatever input here, that is whatever output that comes into picture, that is only depending on the past input or present input, not on futuristic input. Then I cannot able to do unique prediction, and after that whatever input and output data, that should be real number. So that kind of assumption, that is nothing but exams. And what kind of new theory will come up? We are going to come up with modern system theory or modern control theory or nonlinear control theory. So now whenever I have already told you that whenever you are talking about axioms is those kind of assumptions. It means that there exists some difference between axioms and assumption. So assumption means some kind of global assumption is called axioms. So that is somehow so much sensible that everyone believe on it, because everyone is knowing that if I want to predict some kind of output, and if input is depending on the future, and since I do not know the future, due to that reason I cannot guess the output uniquely. So that kind of belief people have, and due to that reason they have believed that whatever output, that is function of either the present value of the input, or you can see that is input hour, so this is function of present value or the past value. So that kind of assumption they have. They know that whatever device they have created, that is basically only able to read some kind of real number or some kind of collection of real number in form of matrices, form of function, form of polynomial. And due to that reason they are assuming that that kind of assumption is true whenever we are defining this system. This is also called dynamical system. So whenever we are talking about dynamical system, we are talking about two things, that whatever output, that is uniquely determined from the input, and input is only function of the present and past value, not the future value. So that kind of things we have. So we do not try to prove the axioms. Most of time we are blindly believing on axioms, then we are going to create some kind of interesting result. So that kind of things is there. Now let us come back to the childhood. So if you see that whenever we are in 6th class or 8th class, that depending on the board, so they have introduced this kind of concept set. So what basically, now why set is so much important, that they are talking about that some kind of collection, that collection might be ordered collection and some kind of unordered collection. So what they are telling, in prospect of the modern control theory or system theory, I have system, I have some kind of input, I am representing input as a ut and output as a yt. Then what I am going to define, I am going to define some kind of set S, that is collection. So collection now you can take in any order, that doesn't matter, or you can define same collection, either you can take yt, ut, and after that system. So whenever I have to do a study, then first I have to collect everything. You can see that in mathematics also, here I have this kind of geometrical shape, different geometrical shape is collected here, different numbers are collected here, everything is some kind of set. So similarly, whenever we start study, then we are collecting thing, and we are not claiming on the structure. And at that time, we are using this kind of symbol, that if something is belongs to set or not. If we are telling that some kind of futuristic value ut plus t plus tau that belongs to this, then we are telling no. Suppose that if someone is telling that ut plus t, So t equal to 0, you can see that I want future output. So this is not belongs to set. Due to that reason, I can write that t that doesn't belongs to whatever set I have defined this. So what set is telling that if something is belongs to them or not. And after operation, we have to make sure that whatever things that is going to come into picture, that should be also belongs to set. That will not go beyond the set. Another important restriction is that whenever I have something, that is whenever we are telling that okay, suppose that in this system, if I am just interested in input and output, then what need of this? And due to that reason, we are defining some subset, and subset here, that is only input and output pair, like this. So let us try to learn in terms of mathematics or terms of system theory. So I am going to start with same system here, and what I am going to do, I am going to assume this system as some kind of underwater vehicle. So this underwater vehicle is moving inside some water, suppose, and I have to control the velocity. So I have applied some kind of thrust force u, and after applying thrust force, this underwater vehicle is moving inside some kind of river. So let us try to capture the dynamics of this particular system. So how to capture the dynamics of this particular system? So for that, what I am going to do, I am going to use some kind of fundamental principle. So I am going to use the Newton's law. So I am assuming that mass of this particular underwater vehicle is unity. For time being, you can assume a unity, but you can take any mass without loss of generality. So I can write Newton's law, F equal to ma. So whatever force I am going to apply, that is ut, and after that I am writing that I have ma. So m is unity, and acceleration, I am going to control the velocity, and due to that reason, dv by dt. But you can see here that whenever you are moving inside water, then what happens? Some additional opposing force comes into picture. And what is that force? Some kind of force, that is some kind of viscous force that is going to act on the system, and due to that reason I have to do modification, because some force is going to oppose this motion. And it is possible to show experimentally, because I have told you that in order to develop some kind of theory, we are going to use the language of hard science, and hard science already given a lot of theory. So they are telling that if you are moving inside water, then whatever friction force you are going to feel, that is a square of the velocity. And due to that reason, I am going to write v mod v. I am not going to write v square. Why? Because if you are moving in this direction, then direction of friction force in this, and if you oppose the direction suddenly, then direction become reverse. So this become positive, and v mod v, this is always positive, and this will give you sign. So finally I will get this kind of mathematical model. I am going to write that mathematical model using different color. So basically now I have dv by dt, and after that I have ut, and after that you can see v mod v. After that, after writing this, how to understand that about this notion vt? So we have already understood that Vt is only real number. So due to that reason, this is not exact mathematical model. I have to write in which space basically Vt is going to belongs. And we know that Vt is nothing but some kind of real number. And we are going to use this kind of set theoretical notation now, that whatever velocity that is going to comes into picture, somehow that belongs to this particular real line minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, now you can see that whatever input I am going to design, that is also a real number, but that is not a true mathematical model. Why? Whatever velocity that is going to generate again, that is always finite. Velocity is never infinite, and due to that reason, one mathematical model is like this. Now after that I have to do some kind of simplification again. And how to do that kind of simplification? I have to tell that whatever velocity vt, that belongs to some d is nothing but this interval. So subset of this real line is called interval. So d, and that is so belongs to d, and d is nothing but subset of this real line r. So we are writing, and due to that reason this notion is important. So you can now see that whenever we are now going to write any kind of differential equation, we are going to use this kind of symbol frequently. Otherwise, there is no meaning of this particular mathematical equation. We will come up with some more example in the next part of this particular lecture. So now let us try to see that another thing. You might have seen that during your childhood time, that in textbook first they introduce the notion of set, and after that they come to the Cartesian product. So try to understand the use of Cartesian product. So you are already well aware that whenever we are talking about Cartesian product, then we are taking two sets, and after that we are telling that a and b is the coordinates of a and b, like that we are telling. And so suppose I have this kind of symbol and I have this kind of symbol, then I can define, I am taking this collection with anyone, and after that we are defining all possible connection. So here you can see that order is very important. Why order is important? Let us try to understand by this particular example. Suppose you have x-axis and y-axis, and this point you have. So suppose this point is 1 and 2. So you can see that 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 is not equal. So by set theoretical point of view, these two are equal, but these two are this. If you are telling S is a set, S dash as a set, then these two are equal. But basically that is not equal. Due to that reason, I have to now make something ordered. And how to make ordered? Again, you can see that this is unordered world. X is unordered world, real number, and this is unordered world, real number. So from the unordered world, I have to create some kind of ordered world. So whatever differential equation in previous slide, you can see that I have written this dv by dt. You can also able to write that particular thing in some specific way. That suppose if I am going to talk about the input and output, and suppose ut belongs to d1, and that is subset of real number, and after that vt that belongs to d2, and again that is subset of real number, then whenever we are talking about input and output pair, at that time I am going to now talk like d1 and d2, like that. That is the meaning of this. Now you can see that if you are doing this kind of things, then I have several combination here, and now it might possible that what kind of things comes into picture, that one object has two different relation. But whatever way we have defined the system, you have seen that I am telling that I have something is system. If I apply some kind of input, then I will get some kind of unique output. That is very important. Suppose you develop some kind of aeroplane, then you have to give guarantee that if that will fly from Varanasi, then that land up to the Delhi or Mumbai. If you are not able to give guarantee, then no one can take that particular plane. And due to that reason, now relation is not enough. Relation is nothing but the subset of, again, this Cartesian product. And if output is unique, means for if I do not allow this kind of combination, here you can see, then that is this is relation, because here one object is related to two, but here you can see that that kind of things is not there, and this is called function. And it is possible to show that any engineering system, any engineering machine will follow this principle only. So how to capture uniqueness of any quantity? Using some kind of function. So now let us come to this mathematical model dv by dt equal to ut v mod v. So this is my mathematical model. So I can also express this mathematical model in terms of the function like dv by dt, and here I am going to define some kind of function, that is function of ut, and since right hand side I have vt also, so like this. So after that, now I am going to write this function f. You can see that ut, and I have already told you that ut I am assuming that that belongs to d1 and subset of real number. I have single input single output system, and after that whatever vt I am going to consider, that is belongs to d2 and subset of the r1, again that is real number. So I have to write here d1 Cartesian product d2, and after that could you please guess that what is on right hand side? dv by dt, anyone? So you can see that vt belongs to d, but whenever we are talking about rate of change, then that might be anything, and due to that that map to R, not D2 only. It might possible some quantity is lying inside some set, but their derivative may be outside of that set. Due to that reason, I have to write this kind of notion. So whenever now I am going to denote some kind of system, I have to write in this particular form. So you can see that here involvement of set comes into picture, after that Cartesian product comes into picture, and after that input output also comes into picture, uniqueness also comes into picture, like that. And after that, one important thing is called binary operator. And what is basic idea of binary operator? That if you have some kind of set, then how to develop some more operation, and it is possible to show that these two operation, addition and multiplication. Please be careful. Whenever I am telling here addition and multiplication, it means that I am not talking about classical addition and multiplication. Multiplication may be multiplication of two chemical reaction, multiplication of two polynomial, might be anything. Addition, similarly addition is that. So using this algebraic structure, we are going to develop further part of the row. So let us come here, and I hope that this slide is visible to everyone. Here you can see that I have started with unordered world, and after that I have defined one kind of binary operation. Next class I will tell you that what kind of binary operation I am going to talk here, and that is called magma. And if they will satisfy certain kind of axioms, and during school time you might have learned about associativity, identity or inverse, then some notion groups comes into picture. Now let us try to see here that what is what mathematician is telling, that if there exists some kind of symmetry, then there exists some kind of group, or vice versa. So now just if you have some kind of symmetrical thing, then you have to at least there exists some kind of group kind of notion. So symmetry is some geometrical things, you can capture that symmetry using some kind of notion, that is algebraic notion. So this is the structure. So in this course I am going to talk about this particular structure. So for time being I am not going to discuss each and everything, because I have some limited time. So in this course basically I am going to talk about, mostly I am going to see this structure. So we are going to talk about set, vector space and inner product space, and I will define everything. So please do not worry. And meaning of set is the some kind of collection, and inside that I am going to talk this some kind of element in terms of vectors, in terms of matrices, in terms of function. Okay, so with this remark I am going to end the today's lecture. So you can see that whatever mathematics we have learned, that has some kind of value. So now it is time to conclude the today's lecture. So what I am telling basically, that whenever we are defining some kind of system, then you have to understand the notion of set. So set is an ordered collection. After that we have to understand the notion of Cartesian product, so that is ordered notion. After that we have to understand the notion of uniqueness, that is given by function. And after that you have to understand the notion of algebraic structure, and then you are able to manipulate the system. And after that some geometrical or algebraic structure comes into picture, that is called abstract algebra or linear algebra. So in this course I am going to talk about that structure. So now it is time to ask some questions. So if you have any question, then please let me know.